Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Wednesday, the 22nd day of April. Today is National Earth Day, which is nice. Happy Earth Day to you. Don't I do that every year?
I believe you do,
I think
yes.
I do. It's also National Girl Scout Leaders Day, National Jelly Bean Day, National Administrative Professionals Day, and National Bookmobile Day. No.
I remember the Bookmobile.
Oh, that's the Batmobile. Okay. Hey, coming up later in the program, speaking of books, we've got a young lady that's got two books, two that just came out this year. We've got Kate Bieberdorf, also known as Kate the Chemist. Her first book is called Kate the Chemist, The Big Book of Experiments. And then she also has a little novel as well. It's a middle grade novel. I'm not sure what that means, but it's called Kate the Chemist, Dragons versus Unicorns. That is really kind of fun stuff. Going to be chatting with her coming up in a bit. Many people have dabbled in the stock market for their very first time ever this year. If you're new to the market, but you don't want to learn things the hard way and the expensive way, I encourage you to subscribe to this free newsletter. You can get the inside track with Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com. Subscribe for free. If you change your mind, just unsubscribe. Sign up for free right now at marketbeatminute.com. That's marketbeatminute.com. Studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Mother's Day. It's coming up here next month. Will you get your mom or your wife a gift even when she says, don't get me anything?
Yes.
How about for her birthday?
Yes.
How about Valentine's Day?
No.
Even if she says, don't get me nothing?
Valentine's Day isn't for your mom.
Okay, well, don't get me anything when mom or girlfriend or wife says that. 88% of men are going to ignore her wishes and still do something for her. And it's a good idea because in a survey, women, even when they say, don't get me anything, 63% say, well, I expected something.
They want to be surprised. They want you to want to get them something.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I thought you just wanted to test me.
No, they just want you to want to
There
give
you
them
go.
something.
So what do you want me to get you?
So they can say, I told you not to get me anything.
Oh, okay. See, this will all work out nice. I'm going to surprise you. This surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
But really, don't get me anything.
Some credit cards have really high rates or big annual fees. Usually, people sign up for these when it's all they qualify for. If that sounds like you, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation changes, and you may qualify for a better credit card. Your current card hopes you don't think about it, but our site shows you many options to see if there's a better credit card for you. Check it out for free at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. There are places where it may be appropriate to strip down to your undies and start dancing, but the middle of the street, probably not one of them.
No.
Can't honestly think of any place as really an appropriate place, but this happened in Florida, believe it or not. Investigators said right after 6 p.m., which is not the time you'd expect this, they arrived at an address of there was a report of an intoxicated subject, a woman who appeared to be under the influence of an unknown drug, took her clothing off on the roadway. Later, she was identified as 25-year-old Vero Beach resident. She was in a red pickup. After the female stripped herself down to her underclothing and began swinging a golf club and dancing in the middle of the street, she was jailed on disorderly intoxication charge. So, a lot of stuff going on in that story. That was one heck of a weekend.
I've heard of disorderly conduct, but not disorderly intoxication. That's a new one.
Yeah, well, she was intoxicated and disorderly. She's a multitasker. Thanks for listening to your... I know what I say here. That's what happens when your brain is on drugs. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Disney is being mocked for censoring Daryl Hannah's Heine. The movie Splash, remember that movie? From the 1980s, Tom Hanks, Daryl Hannah, Eugene Levy.
Yeah, and then she
Great
was walking
movie.
around
John
when
Candy.
she first got to Staten Island.
When she was walking up to the Statue of Liberty.
I remember that.
You see her naked Heine. Well, it's all blurred out on the Disney Plus streaming service. So I don't know what's more ridiculous, that they did that or that people are complaining.
But Disney is for kids.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, okay.
Of course, I watched it when I was a kid.
So did I. And it's not... okay, we'll move on. New report revealed that Joe Exotic has a secret ex-wife and a 38-year-old son who is seen on camera during Tiger King. So it was somebody that was on camera and like, oh, that's his 38-year-old son. I don't know why it's secret.
Right.
I don't know. Anyway. And Vicky Gunvalson is postponing her wedding vow to Steve Lodge due to the coronavirus. By the way, she was on Real Housewives of Orange County.
I was going to say, I don't know who this is.
Orange County. She was one of the Real Housewives.
How could she be a housewife if
don't
she's not married?
Well, now she's going to be a real housewife. I have no idea how any of that works.
I don't know how that works.
Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
We're here to make it better.
If you find that drug or alcohol problems are hitting you too close to home, you can get help. Maybe it's time for rehab. Your insurance may even cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. Get help for a drug or alcohol problem within 24 hours.
We're here to make it better.
Get more information at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Paris Hilton posted a Simple Life meme. Oh boy, I haven't even thought of that for years. Remember when she was on that show with Nicole Richie way back in the day?
No.
It was a long time ago. Anyway, she posted a meme and it said, "Quarantine is not hot." Oh. So there you go.
Okay.
I feel better now.
Thanks, Paris.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Matt Belloni, and it's Belloni. How would you say that? Belloni? Belloni? He's a top editor at The Hollywood Reporter. He stepped down over differences in editorial control of the magazine. So I wonder what that means.
Means he didn't like what they were doing.
I want to do another Kardashian story. No, we do way too many of those. You're going to have to do a story on the Tiger King. That's it. I quit. I'm not really sure what happened. Danielle Tabusi is facing simple assault by physical menace, disorderly conduct, and other related charges after the incident. What incident? Apparently there was an incident. That is seriously all that's in the story. Did I delete something?
You must have deleted something important.
Oh, that's a little odd. If you find the rest of that story, please let me know. Lindsay Lohan says her new album is a remembrance of things from her early 20s. And from what I know of Lindsay Lohan, I can't believe she remembers any of her early 20s.
But neither could I. So
her early 20s are yours?
Mine.
Oh, okay. Newly released document shows that Meghan Markle's real name is Rachel Markle. Meghan is her middle name. Rachel Meghan Markle is her name.
Okay.
So I don't know why everybody was all shocked about that, but apparently that was a big deal like a week ago when this story came out. I'm trying to clean up some of these stories, by the way. I apologize. Some of this stuff I've been holding on to for a long time ago. So this one here, I've had this a long time. Apparently Elvis died. Did you know that? Okay, I don't really have a story that old. Miley Cyrus and her boyfriend Cody Simpson delivered tacos to healthcare workers in California on Saturday. I think it was a week ago Saturday. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
Elton John launched a $1 million coronavirus emergency fund to protect men with HIV. So that's cool. Disney's outgoing CEO, Bob Iger, announced that he's going to give up his $3 million salary to furloughed workers. That's really cool.
That's very
it says
cool.
The money will arrive to workers in just a few weeks.
That's very cool.
That's very, very neat. And Louis C.K. is in the news. His new stand-up special is on his website. It just came out.
Okay.
He, during the Me Too stuff, had all kinds of terrible things that were revealed, and like everybody's dropped everything to do with him. So it's not on like some streaming. It's like his website. Right. It's like, hey, if you guys want to see it, it's on my website. So I hope it goes okay for him, but I got a feeling it's probably not going to be a huge thing. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. This has been your Scoop of the Day.
Do you pay too much for insurance? Have you looked around? Or are you too chicken? Don't be afraid to look around to see if you can find a better deal at InsuranceChicken.com. We make it super simple for you to see rates from several different companies, to see what they have to offer, all in one place. Peck out great insurance deals at InsuranceChicken.com. Is it time for you to cross the road? See if we can save you money each month at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Today, our guest is Kate the Chemist, and she's got a couple of cool books out. We're going to chat with her about those today. Kate, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. And I know there's a lot of people right now that are probably, at this point, really trying to figure out what the heck to do with some of the time on their hands. And you've got kind of some fun ideas to keep the kids entertained, don't you?
I do, yeah. I just came out with this new book. It's called Kate the Chemist, The Big Book of Experiments. And inside of it, I have 25 different experiments that kids can do safely at home, in the kitchen, with their parents. And I actually put this thing together back in last May, before I knew what was going to be happening right now. I mean, no one could have predicted this. And when I was doing this, it was really important to me to make sure that kids, no matter where they are or what their socioeconomic status is, that they would be able to actually do the experiments. And so when I put everything together, I had everything in mind that I wanted these kids to be able to use stuff that's already in their pantry, already in their craft drawer. And so right now, the majority of the experiments you can actually do with stuff that's in your kitchen or, like I said, in your craft drawer. So it just kind of was a little serendipitous. So hopefully I can help you give something that you can do with your kids that's fun and educational.
So I'm not going to need like a vat of acid or anything like that.
No, not for anything in my kids' book. No, I'll come out with an adult book for that for you.
I love the photo, and I'm assuming this is the cover where there's like a photo of you blowing fire. I'm assuming that's you. That's like blowing fire. Is that right?
Yes, that's me blowing fire. That's not the cover of the kids' book because my lawyers said they didn't want anything that would imply that kids would be breathing fire. So that one got vetoed. But yeah, that's actually what I do on every show. So I travel across the country and I do shows for kids all the time. And I'm just trying to get them excited about science and show them that anybody can be a scientist. It doesn't matter who you are, what you look like. And breathing fire is one of my shticks. And it's super easy to do. It's a combustion reaction. And it's something that kids they just get excited about it. They see it, then they want to know about the thermodynamics. Or maybe they'll allow me to teach them about the thermodynamics, but it doesn't matter. They have fun.
But that's not part of the play-at-home game, right?
No breathing fire for kids. Not this book.
So what are some of the projects that people are doing that they're liking the most? Are you getting some fun response from people that are doing some of the fun projects that you have put in the book?
I'm getting amazing responses. People are sending me pictures and emails of their kids doing things. It's so cute. I got one last night from a good friend. I didn't even know she had purchased the book, and her kids are already doing the experiment, so that was super cute. So I've had a lot of really good response from the fake tattoos. Because all you need for that one is cornstarch and Kool-Aid, and if you don't have that Kool-Aid mix, you can just use food coloring, but it stays a little bit longer. So kids have been loving that one. There's another one called the bubble snake that young kids are loving, and that's one where you just use a water bottle and a towel and a little bit of dish soap, and you can make huge bubbles that are these long streams.
That is fantastic. Now, we talked a little bit about the book, Kate the Chemist, the Big Book of Experiments, but there's another book as well, Kate the Chemist, Dragons versus Unicorns. Tell me about that one.
That one is where I get to be a little creative because in my world, we have to be strict to the data. Everything is facts. And so for the first time, I actually let my brain kind of relax a little bit and go to my creative side. And so Dragons versus Unicorns is a companion book. It's a fiction book. It's a little chemist. She's 10 years old, and she goes around and uses science to solve the problems in her neighborhood. And she deals with just problems that any 10-year-old kid would deal with. So there's a little bit of jealousy, and there's just this play that's called Dragons versus Unicorns, and she's trying to figure out how to deal with everything, and it's so fun, and I love it. And there's an experiment in that one, too. So in the back of that one, we put unicorn glue, so that's a super fun experiment as well.
That is awesome. Kate, how old were you when you realized you wanted to grow up to be Kate the Chemist?
Ooh, Kate the Chemist kind of evolved, to be perfectly honest. But I've been doing science and weird stuff ever since I was little. My mom was amazing. She let me go into the bathroom and mix our shampoos and conditioners together all the time as much as I wanted. But it wasn't until I was 15, so my sophomore year of high school, that I had this amazing high school teacher, Mrs. Palsrock in Portage, Michigan, and she was just phenomenal. And ever since I was 15, I knew I wanted to be a chemist. She was just that good.
That is awesome. I'm glad that you followed your dreams, because this is such a cool thing for kids all over the place now to hopefully light a little fire inside them, not like the one in the photo here, but just a spark inside them to make them want to grow up and be awesome like you. That would be really cool.
I think so too. Because the situation is we are stuck at home. You know, the parents are they're forced to be teachers. They're forced to do homeschooling, and it might not be their forte. And so I think this is something fun that you could put your kids in front of the book and say, go, like, here's some cornstarch. Stay on top of this zoned out towel area, so don't mess up my nice dinner table, dining table. But it's something fun and educational that you can do with your kids and just have a wonderful time and know that they're doing good time. And it's away from screen time.
Absolutely. And it kind of makes your homework come alive.
Exactly, yeah. And it's fun. Who doesn't like playing with bubbles or hot ice or making a lava lamp or balloon rockets? They're just awesome.
Now I want to do it all. Kate, thank you very much for chatting with us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I hope you stay safe and healthy there.
You do the same. Again, Kate the Chemist, The Big Book of Experiments, and Kate the Chemist, Dragons versus Unicorns, available now. I have a link to both of these books in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Right now, even a little vacation would be nice.
But this one is going to be great.
This October, we're going to Cancun for a fun event called The Sands.
Hear awesome music from Billy Idol, Belinda Carlisle, Cheap Trick, and so many more.
This happens at the end of October, and when everything blows over, we're going to need a vacation. I hope you will join us.
We've been to this same event for the last 3 years, and it's so much fun. I wouldn't miss it.
Get all the information and get your spot reserved to join us at radiotravelgroup.com.
That's radiotravelgroup.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Dogs like squeaky toys for a reason, and it's apparently a dark reason. Ever wonder why your puppy obsesses over squeaky toys?
Why?
It's because dogs are descendants of wolves whose instincts include hunting small animals. The sound a squeaky toy makes is similar to the sound of a small animal when being hunted.
I never thought about
next
that
time
before.
Your puppy gets excited because of a squeaky toy, it means that they want to kill that little toy.
That makes sense, because they do. They attack it and swing it around.
Well, one of our dogs does. The other one has no idea what to do.
The other one has no. She's special.
She is indeed. This is today's fun fact.
Some credit cards have really high rates or big annual fees. Usually, people sign up for these when it's all they qualify for. If that sounds like you, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation changes, and you may qualify for a better credit card. Your current card hopes you don't think about it, but our site shows you many options to see if there's a better credit card for you. Check it out for free at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, a news headline from somewhere in this world, Dateline, England. Prince William is offering to pilot air ambulances amid coronavirus pandemic. That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
So Prince William apparently is a pilot and can fly helicopters.
Okay.
So that's
I want to fly a helicopter.
I know you do. Did you get the message I sent you? There was on Facebook, there was learn to fly a helicopter in 3 easy lessons, or it was more than that.
I don't think it was 3 lessons.
It might have been 3 years.
If it was, you wouldn't want to fly with me, I'm sure.
I sent you a link to it because I said it would be really fun. Did you see it?
I saw it.
Are you going to do it?
But it's not nearby.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, shucks. Somebody want to teach Heidi to fly a helicopter? Keep in mind, she's drinking most of the time, so probably a bad plan. Thanks for listening to A News Headline from somewhere in this world.
We're here to make it better.
If you find that drug or alcohol problems are hitting you too close to home, you can get help. Maybe it's time for rehab. Your insurance may even cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. Get help for a drug or alcohol problem within 24 hours.
We're here to make it better.
Get more information at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Florida woman facing felony domestic battery charges after clobbering a man, allegedly, with a can of SpaghettiOs, allegedly. Says a blow that left the victim with a large laceration on his head, allegedly. According to an arrest affidavit, the victim told police that he came home after arriving home from the hospital. He got into a verbal argument with 30-year-old Sade Miranda. The victim and Miranda were sharing a room at the Travel Inn Motel. What? Hopefully they knew each other. The man told police that he sought to de-escalate the situation by gathering some of his belongings and stepping outside. and he ended up sitting in a lawn chair. And that's when she came out, and she started striking the victim while he was still in the room. Man lounged outside. She struck him in the head with a 15.6-ounce metal can of SpaghettiOs.
Oh, my.
It was in a plastic bag, and she swung it and smacked him.
Ouch.
While speaking to the officer, he had a large laceration on the top of his head.
Oh, I bet
That's
he did.
not good. That's bad. It's a bad deal.
Uh-oh.
What a weird story.
SpaghettiOs.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you did there. I see what... Oh, Heidi. This is today's Weird News.
John and Heidi.
Now, your moment of duh, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. A Florida man working in a hospital as a physician's assistant is accused of doing something just downright unthinkable. Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office says 46-year-old, I don't know why I said Ricky, Roderick, way completely different, Roderick Manhattan, stole emergency equipment from a hospital during this pandemic. He's accused of loading 54 boot covers, 26 protective overall suits, 12 scrub jackets, 11 head cover hoods, a box of gloves, and a pair of scrubs into a silver Jaguar. 2 hospital workers told investigators they saw him do it. Total cost of everything he was trying to smuggle out of there, about $500.
Why?
They
if you're
said
driving a Jag.
Yeah, they say the theft
go
of the
and
medical
get the
equipment,
stuff.
anything over a $300 amount, is a second-degree felony. But since the county's in state of emergency, that makes it a first-degree felony.
Ooh.
He was booked into the jail on larceny. I think that's an interesting word. Larceny of emergency equipment and grand theft of equipment during a state of emergency. So there you go. Unthinkable. But it is today's moment of duh.
Do you pay too much for insurance? Have you looked around? Or are you too chicken? Don't be afraid to look around to see if you can find a better deal at InsuranceChicken.com. We make it super simple for you to see rates from several different companies, to see what they have to offer, all in one place. Peck out great insurance deals at InsuranceChicken.com. Is it time for you to cross the road? See if we can save you money each month at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for fake news or Florida. Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it hashtag fake news made up to trick you and amuse me?
Alrighty.
All right. Fake news or Florida? Fort Myers, Florida man was busted for bringing an alligator to the Piggly Wiggly, claiming it was a therapy animal. Fake news or Florida?
Fake news.
It is fake news. How did you know?
That's just silly.
Well, it is silly, but so are most. Somebody got hit in the head with a can of SpaghettiOs in Florida, and you think this is silly? Somebody else stole a bunch of stuff from a hospital in Florida. I mean, we've had a pretty packed show today. But yes, that was fake news. Thanks for listening to Fake News or Florida on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of hashtag gift card challenge. You can find more about that and hear more about that at the website giftcardchallenge.org. And here's what I think is pretty darn cool. Talk about unsung heroes. Because, during the regular, most of the time, there are a lot of people who do a ton of work. They don't even get a second look. But right now, when they've become essential workers and they're doing their same job they've always done, they're finally getting some appreciation, which is pretty darn cool. Take a listen to this one. Taxi driver is greeted with a round of applause at a hospital. Healthcare workers surprised a taxi driver with a standing ovation and an envelope of money to thank him for routinely bringing COVID patients to the hospital without charging them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's really, really cool. It says the cab driver was lured into the hospital in Madrid. That's where this happened.
Okay.
He was picking up a patient, is what they said. When he got there, everybody stood around and clapped for him. Dozens of healthcare workers lined up and down the hospital entrance. The Spanish Taxi Union shared footage to social media, and it's been viewed more than 11 million times now.
Oh, sweet.
So this particular taxi driver, is there a difference between cabs and taxi? Same thing,
I
right?
don't think so. I think it's the same thing.
I better Google that now. I found out coffin and casket are two different things. I always thought that was the same thing.
Are they really? One is wood.
Straight. Well, one has straight lines and one goes out and down. So that was way different than what we're talking about. But taxi and cab, I think it's the same
oddly
thing.
enough, flammable and inflammable are the same thing.
Who knew? Third degree burns later. I found out. It's the same thing. I will have to check into that. But I've got a link to this story if you want to see it. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Getting kind of squirrely in here. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.